Hey, how's it going, everyone? So what am I working on now? Well, I got an 85 F350 that came in for a crank no start. Let's take a look. I haven't done anything yet to look at it. Let's see what it does. I don't even know if this is a gas or a diesel. I have no idea. I would think, well, it still could be a diesel, but it doesn't say anything. Let's see what it sounds like. Let's see. And it's a 4-speed. Okay, it's a gas motor. Now this is going to be a carbureted whatever. Sounds V8-ish. Alright. I can actually smell fuel, so let me actually get the key out. There's actually a tab you press on here to turn the key. Oh, there it goes. To release. All right, let's go under the hood. Actually has an inside hood release. Okay, 85 sounds V8-ish. Could be a 302, could be a 351. 85. I'm not sure if they had the 485. I don't think they did. I'm gonna say it's a 351, considering it's a. Could be a 460 too, actually. But I'm gonna say it's a 351. That was like the most common motor. Let's see what we got. But I do smell fuel. Let me see if I can figure out how to open up this hood real quick. All right, so there's a tab here you push down to release it, and it is a, oh, it is a 6-cylinder. Wow, I actually did not expect that. So that should be a 300 inline 6. So, I do smell fuel. It did have that little blip of a wanting to start. Oh, this is good. Look at these connections. Yeah. Well, I guess they're good enough in a pinch, but it's not a permanent repair. At least it shouldn't be, but people do it. Let's see if it actually has spark. All right. Look at this. Somebody stuck a piece of fuel hose over top of the coil wire because the coil wire has been resting on the fuel pump. All right, let me see if we got spark. What's the easiest way for me to do this? With a spark tester, probably. So let me go get a spark tester and let's see if we have spark. So I got this little kit here. I got this off of Amazon. I've had this same kit for years. Works great, works fine. Usually what I do is I will usually plug in this piece to the end and just ground it. Unless I'm chasing an individual misfire on an older car, then I'll run it in line. But let me just plug this thing all together. I can't do this one-handed, so hang on a second. So there we go. We got that hooked up into the coil wire directly from the coil, going over to this, and I'm running it to a ground. So there's a light in here that should flash while it's cranking. So how on earth am I going to be in the vehicle cranking it and see under the hood at the same time? Well, luckily on this Ford, it's an older one obviously, it makes life easier because it has a starter solenoid on the inner fender. So I have a jump start, a push start. So here, I have it hooked up. I pulled the jumper off. This is the trigger wire. This would have power to it when you're in a crank position. So that's there. This end just goes to the power. I could go to the battery post if I wanted to. I just went there, just life easier. And all this is just a push start. So now, before you do any of that, you got to be safe. First and foremost, make sure you're in neutral. Then we have to have the key on. Okay? So key on. Not that it would even start, but just in case, because I've seen weird things happen over the years. So now we push down on this to crank the motor over. So, I'm going to crank that. And it's really a dim light, I think. Let's see. Can I bring this down even further so it's like out of the sunlight? Hard to see it. All right. Sorry, because the sun's like right behind me, so I know it affects how the camera looks. So I know we have spark out of here. Do we have spark getting 2 cylinders? Let me disconnect this, and I'm going to hook up an ignition wire from the distributor. So basically I'm going to unhook this, plug this back to the cap, and then I'm going to go pull one of the plug wires off and hook it up to this. So let me do that. I can't do it one-handed. Oh, wait, maybe I can. But I still smell fuel. Doesn't mean anything though. It doesn't mean I'm actually getting fuel up to the motor. Okay, let's try that again. Yep. All right. So I am getting spark, so that's good. So next step, like I said, I smell fuel pretty good. Unless it's just completely flooded out, which is also a possibility. I'm really surprised that this is an F350 with an inline 6. Kind of uncommon. I just took the wing bolt out. Ford uses a bolt on these things. Okay. Now, somebody has put a carburetor on this at one point. How do I know? Because it's quality remanufactured. All right. Yeah, this thing's a little hokey. That's for sure. Problem is, I'm going to have to get up in there and see if this thing's actually pumping fuel. Let me go get a step stool. Hang on. All right, so back under the hood here. Actually, let me turn my light on in here because that'll actually help me. So now, and it's not that easy for me holding this and doing that at the same time. Can I get down there? No, I got no fuel. Okay. So I got no fuel getting down there. I swear I smell fuel though. So the reason I brought this over was I was gonna, if it had fuel, I was just gonna stuff this down there to hold the choke open, like that, just to see. Because a lot of times you can hold the choke open to help with the flooded motor. Let me get some carburetor cleaner, spray it down this, and see if this thing will fire. Okay, so let me put you on a tripod here. I haven't turned the key off or anything. All I'm going to do is, I have some carburetor cleaner here. All right, so what do we know now? Well, let me disconnect you from here. All right, so we know it runs. We know it runs with fuel. So most likely it's not getting fuel, but why? So what I got to do is start down here at the fuel pump. Even though this pump has been changed, doesn't mean anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to crack the line open and I'm going to crank this thing, because I've seen that fuel filter right there. This is a fuel filter. I have seen that in the past kill these things and actually make them not run at all. So, how do I know that? Because I had a 1976 F350 with a 400 in it, and that little bugger filter plugged up solid on me, and the truck died. Couldn't get it to start and idle. That's how bad it was. And I was driving it on the highway when it died. All of a sudden, I started losing power. Died on me. So, let me crack the line there to see if I get fuel coming out. All right, let me set you up on the tripod again. And what I'm going to do, hopefully I won't block you here. Break the line free. And hopefully you can hear me. I think it's dry right there. All right, so now I already turned the key off. That's a mechanical pump, so just the engine cranking should make that pump work. And I have nothing. I should have seen fuel shoot out of there, but I got nothing. All right, so now what we got to do is we got to come to this side where the pump actually is, and we're going to have to take that line off. And let me see if I can't rotate this a little bit. Of course, they put the darn, hold on. There we go. The tripod, they put the legs in a spot where it makes it difficult for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that clamp off right there and take the feed line, the suction side, take that line off, and I'm going to see if I have any fuel at that point. Could the thing be out of gas? Sure. Okay, so let me see if I can't get down here. Now, one thing on a lot of these older cars, older vehicles that have a mechanical pump, a lot of people didn't realize that the suction side of a hose cracks, and it just created a huge leak, vacuum leak. So it's easier to suck in air than it is to suck in fuel. And this hose is bone dry. I'd be willing to bet if I put my finger over the suction side of this fuel pump, I bet you I could feel it pumping. Let's see. Yeah, it's creating a suction. Very mild, but it is creating a suction. So I gotta see. Can't see anything in there to tell if I have fuel on the inside of this hose. This hose is pretty brittle too, I will say that. And judging by what I can see down the line, I'm looking close enough, like I'm following this line down. You see down there? There's sections of hose in here. So, probably a pretty good probability of there being a dry and rotted hose. So, what I'm going to have to do, the right way to do this, yeah, this thing will fit on our lift. I'm going to have to basically drive it in on carburetor cleaner, or I can get a can of fuel and some 5/16 fuel hose run it into that pump, and that'll also tell me if that pump is working good or not. And basically this way run it off of that. That might be the way I want to go, because trying to maneuver this thing, get on the lift, since it's a stick too, makes life a little difficult. But yeah, let me do that. Let me get some 5/16 fuel hose and like a antifreeze container or something with like a gallon of gas in there. And you just stick the gas, the container down in the engine bay here somewhere, and this way the vehicle will run off of that. Plus, like I said, it'll tell me if that pump is any good. So that is indeed 5/16 hose that I need. Now, how did I just figure that out? I'll show you, real easy. So there you go, you're looking at it, right? Here's a 3/8 wrench. See that, the 3/8 wrench fits sloppy on there. Here is a 5/16 wrench. See that? Fits nice and snug. So that tells you, hey, it's 5/16 line. So, all right, let me go get some 5/16 line. Let me get some fuel. See if we can get this thing up and running. Although, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do this today. We're supposed to have a snowstorm coming in. I still have another truck I have to get on that lift. There's only one lift we have in the shop that'll pick this thing up. And I have another truck I have to get on that lift. So this may be at the end of the week or next week. But let me see if I can't get some fuel. At least get this thing running so I know where I'm at, just in case that pump is no good too. So, but I got a funny feeling I have cracked hoses or deteriorated hoses. Could just be completely out of gas too. Although the gauge was reading a quarter, I think. But all right, let me see what I can do there. Okay, so guess what? Nobody has a fuel hose for this. Nobody around here. We got 5 parts stores in the area. Not one of them has 5/16 fuel hose. They have the high pressure fuel line, for fuel injection, but I'm not paying $10 a foot for that kind of hose to do this. No way. So, I'm not going to see it till tomorrow. But like I said, we're supposed to get a snowstorm tomorrow. We're supposed to get like 7 inches of snow, which is very unusual for around here. And they call it Snowmageddon when we get stuff like that around here. So that cripples this area. Anyway, so that's going to end this video for right now. But when I get to getting the hose, and we're going to continue this. So for now, unfortunately, we're going to leave this alone. Yeah, so that's it. Hopefully you got something out of that. Hopefully you figured out a little bit on how to diagnose certain little things and, narrow it down to, is it fuel or is it ignition? So, all right. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.